Ready to roll? Come here. We're going to spend some time with my family.
They live like an hour 45 from us. So we usually spend a weekend whenever we go down.
By the way, welcome to the channel.
Oh, thank you. No, I've been on the channel before.
Well, it's your official,
my debut.
That is his spot. What pointed at me?
Yeah.
I had a really good sleep. This is a place called Crippen Cottage. There's a few cottages here, and the reason we're here is to hang out with family and just have a real kind of chill weekend. And kind of got married here, not really. Kind of, it was a place we stayed. The place we got married is pretty close to here.
Alright, now come inside. Come inside. Go to your family. Get that camera out my face.
Obviously, as in the title of this video, we're having a conversation about our pandemic wedding. Got engaged, and then we were planning our wedding. Obviously, we planned it for the 18th of June 2020. Obviously, around March time, the world went a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially I do remember that
I remember being sad when we realised in March that our honeymoon would most likely be cancelled. I actually think I cried about that.
Yeah. I think in the first lockdown there was just no information. I remember constantly ringing I remember constantly ringing the council being like, yo, what's happening? Is there any updates?
Yeah.
And they were like, we have no idea. We've no idea what's happening. So
is it just here?
Yes.
So like 10 days before our wedding, basically the government made it legal for everyone to get married, but you had to get married outdoors with a maximum of 10 people for your day. The most important thing to us was just that we wanted to be together and get married.
It was obviously difficult because the big thing about a wedding is your friends and your family coming together, but I think due to the fact that everything had been so stripped back already, I think that right now the priority was just like me to get married, because I don't know if like in 2 weeks time the government's going to close the country again, or like
and we were just so excited to be together.
Yeah, and we spoke to family about it, and obviously everyone was so understanding. Friends were like, no, absolutely, go and get married.
Yeah.
And you look, we can celebrate later. And I suppose having the support from friends and family was just like, yeah, really, absolutely.
Really
you know, it's
so nice.
We've got to do this. And
so we decided, Matthew grew up right beside the Mourne Mountains, which is just so beautiful. So we decided to get married here the day before we came down here, and we stayed in the cottages that we're actually staying in now. And we decided to just scout some locations, I guess. Came across this field, there were some cows in it.
We're going to go to it now.
Yeah, we're going to go see it. And my dad actually came across the farmer that owned it and asked, hey, do you mind, can my son-in-law and my daughter get married in this field tomorrow? He's like, okay. So he moved the cows for us, and Matthew on the morning of the wedding shoveled cow poop out of the way. And yeah, it was literally the most beautiful day ever.
Yeah. God
just completely blessed us with like amazing weather, but more than that, just like a really special, like intimate day, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, and as well, just I think in the moment, like I've shared before, I connect with God a lot through nature and creation, and I think just being in that moment was special because, you know, in a way, marriage is a picture of what it'll be like in the future when Jesus returns for his bride. And I think just that to me, and I know to you, was probably the closest I've ever felt to God, because it was a picture of what it'll be like. And that's just the power of marriage. You know, the power of marriage is a love story, is a choice, and that is the story and the narrative of God and humanity. And I think, you know, just it was such a special. And
I think at this stage, like whenever we'd had everything stripped back, like I remember, getting up, upset about like the smallest things, and then, each thing was stripped back, and then we realized like we just need to take hold of this, and just have the best time ever and make the most of it. And that's what we did. Like I just remember, like, even the morning of the wedding, like obviously it looked so different to
100%.
what I would have expected, but I just remember being so excited, you know, and like some friends and things were messaging me, and maybe almost felt a bit bad for me and things, but I just was having like
the best time,
ever. Like so I think our attitude and our outlook just thankfully was positive. God helped us with that.
So yeah, the reason behind, I guess, making this is I wanted to share a bit of the story. I wanted to share a bit of, I guess, God's goodness, but also being a wedding filmmaker and videographer, I've been, you know, through this last year and a half, been through the struggles with every wedding vendor, but more than that, everyone that's getting married or planning a wedding, and the stress of that. And a lot of people, you know, have asked and said, well, what was it like for you? And for people that do push their wedding into the, you know, a couple of years, I completely understand. Like there's no, I think about it, there's no right way of doing it. I think it's your own personal preference. And so, but definitely for those that are planning and preparing, I guess the biggest thing we learned was just focus on each other. Whatever that looks like. If you're standing in a field full of cow poo and like, and then having a celebration, you know, in the future or a couple of months later.
It was like, that was actually really special for us too, because it happened like 4 months after we actually got married. But we really value that day too, because it was also really special for us just to like, we're such people. Having people like our grandparents there, and like our close friends and stuff like that literally meant the world too. And just being able to like have a celebration and like spend time together, that was very fun too. This is where we got married. I stood just around here.
Right, end the video.
My body temperature is not well right now.
Radically dropping. Thanks for listening.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.